I'm back with you today. We're going to revisit a subject that I had done a few years ago, and this time we're going to be comparing flutes. This time we're going to be looking at flutes in the key of G minor. The first flutes that I've pulled are going to be what some people call the plains style flute, where the airway or the flue is made into the fetish block itself. So the bottom of the fetish block has a little groove in about 2/3 to 3/4 of the length. So if you look down here, you'll see the little groove in the block itself, not in the flute body. Those are going to be the later flutes that I do, and those are called a woodlands style. First flute I'd like to share with you today is actually the first flute that I ever purchased. This started out as a kit. It was tuned and playable. I had to do some finish work and create the design of the block. This was just a rectangle. This is from a gentleman named Dwight Lind, and he went by the name of Quiet Bear Flutes when he was producing flutes. No longer produces flutes. This is made from western red cedar. Again, all of these are going to be in the key of mid G minor. I'm going to be trying to play kind of the same thing throughout, best I can. So here's what this one sounds like. Western red cedar, Quiet Bear. The next three flutes are going to be from High Spirits, a company that most people are aware of. And all of these are called their Red Tail Hawk. That's what they call their mid-G flutes, Red Tail Hawk. This is the current design that they have created for their fetish block. This is an Eastern red cedar, what they feel is one of their premier woods to use. They use this in a lot of their signature flutes, for example. This is just one of their regular red tail hawks in Eastern red aromatic cedar. Eastern red cedar, red tail hawk. Another High Spirits flutes. This is an older design. This is, I don't know how many years old. I could take this off and look at the date. They always have their date underneath the wrap, almost always. And this is walnut, harder wood than the Eastern red cedar. Also an older design, so that will change the sound and the tone of it a little bit. Next one from High Spirits is another hardwood. This is from madrone, which is grown here in the Pacific Northwest. And they usually use madrone in some of their special signature flutes. I don't know why they used it in a few of these. This has a real nice burled pattern in the wood. Also, again, you know, one of the fancier woods that they usually do in their signature flutes. I don't know how it's going to show up in the video. And that's what this one sounds like. The last one that is a plains style flute. This is a Heartsong Flute from J.P. Gomez. He is in Sedona, Arizona. This is a flamed maple, tiger maple, and I believe zebra wood for the accents, little ring and the end caps. Owl fetish here also from the maple. The next flute is one of my basic flutes that I make. Brent Adams Outdoorsman. Has a little thicker wall. It definitely changes the sound a little bit. This is blue pine, made from blue pine. The next two flutes are from Tree of Life Designs, maker's Ed Doherty. This one is one of his fancier flutes, 3 different kinds of wood used. This looks kind of like flame maple, but I believe it's called a negre, and molly burl on the darker woods here. And I believe the real dark woods are ebony, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. A couple of abalone inlays, and I should mention this flute, it's the only one that it tapers. It's a little bit larger diameter towards the mouthpiece end, and the whole flute tapers, at least on the outside, as it goes down. It's a very, very pretty flute, very unique. And this one I have to use a little bit less breath. I should mention also, I use the amount of breath pressure that I feel the flute sounds best with. So I'm not playing each flute with exactly the same breath pressure. And I'm sorry, but it's like when you start to know your flutes, you know how to help them make the sound you want them to make when you're doing a recording or anything else. So this one I use a little bit less air pressure than some of the other flutes that I've been doing, almost any of the other flutes. Next one is also from Tree of Life Designs, Ed Doherty. This one is made from canary wood with some walnut accents. And this has a little bit different nest area. The part that the fetish block sits on is called the nest. This one is raised up a little bit. His other one is kind of lowered down to be flattened. So two very different designs from the same maker at about the same time. This is Canary Wood, Tree of Life Designs. Canary wood is also a hardwood. The blue pine that I started with in the woodland style is a softer wood than hardwoods. This is walnut, Clara walnut, another Brent Adams flute with a slightly thinner wall thickness, a little bit fancier flute that I make. And this is one of my earlier flutes. I've been concentrating mainly on the simpler design to get people into flutes a little bit less expensively. Next flute, another hardwood. This is made from Padauk, Laughing Crow. Richard Maynard, I believe, is the name of the maker, if I got that correctly. It's hard for me to remember names sometimes. And this is one of his standard offerings. He does make custom flutes, and he has a few different flutes that he kind of offers as a standard. He has the end of his is angled. I've done some of mine that way. Most flute makers have an end that is straight, 90 degree from the regular flute body. So this is kind of one of his little signature marks there. Padauk, Laughing Crow. Next flute we go to a softer wood. This is Alaskan yellow cedar, Eastern red aromatic cedar for the end caps and the top of the fetish block, I believe. This is cherry on the base of the fetish block. This is made by Dana Ross. Falcon Flutes is the name of his flute company. Again, Alaskan yellow cedar. The last flute I have to share with you today is from Woodsounds Flutes. Brent Haynes is the maker. This is Eastern red aromatic cedar, and this is what he calls, he has different levels in his line. Custom flutes. This is one of the least expensive ones that he offers. It's called the Cedar Classic, and this has the lighter accents with the Eastern red cedar flute body. He also makes the same exact thing but with darker accents in those places. I don't happen to have one of those right now. And this is his flute, Woodsounds Flute, Eastern Red Aromatic Cedar. So I hope that was helpful. Again, this is just a sampling of, I'm hoping that the phone that I'm using to do this video with will help you to discern some of the differences in sound of some of the different flutes, flute makers. I grabbed the 3 high spirits flutes mainly because of the different woods, so you can hear that, but also one is an older one, and the design is, it does change the sound just slightly, one of his older flutes versus the 2 that are available either from his side or from me today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Thanks a lot.